Suburbia is a film that was released in 1983 and is a film that I had never heard of at all until like a month ago when I discovered it on Tubi. Surprised I never heard of it. It definitely is popular for a lot of reasons. It's controversial for a lot of reasons. This is directed by Penelope Spheeris, which is very interesting because she is the director of Wayne's World and Black Sheep, which I haven't seen that one, and also The Little Rascals, which I love, and it's a great family film. But coming from this, you would never expect it to be the same director. But it is, and this is one of her. It's not her directorial debut, but it's one of her first films. And this is basically about like the punk lifestyle in or suburbs of Los Angeles kind of thing. And it's a bunch of kids who basically are runaways and they're living astray in basically squatting in abandoned homes and stuff like that and just living the punk rock lifestyle. And it's very raw. It's a very raw movie. And there's a lot of things on the controversial side that definitely happened in this film. One, I had to look up the animal cruelty because I will say, without spoiling too much, that dogs do play a big part of this film, especially vicious and abandoned dogs. And there's this one scene where the dogs are being shot at and they're falling down, and it looks very realistic. And I'm like, what is going on here? How are they filming this? And apparently they used like wire to like trip the dogs. Now, they say that no animal cruelty was done in this film, but if you're tripping dogs, I think that's pretty wild and pretty you know, I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. Is basically what I'm saying. But there's that, and even in like the way the film opens up, there's a lot of punk concerts and punk shows in this film. And at one of them, there's this one girl who's just randomly there, and then a bunch of guys start picking on her, and they literally like rip off her clothes and are just laughing at her and trying to like toss her clothes around and keep it away from her. And this girl's like, wailing and screaming and like completely humiliated and embarrassed. It's really, really tough. But I must say the performances are all spectacular, and it's a really deep film. Like, it's really heavy. It's very impactful. I also gave this one a 4 out of 5. It's one of the films that I've been watching that are consistently such good first time watches, and especially this one. I can't believe I haven't seen up to now. The performances, they're great, and they're definitely believable, you could say, but they are kind of strange too. Like, everybody is so zen in this movie and so kind of chill and monotone, and no matter what's going on, especially one character in particular who's on the main poster, he's got a shaved head, and I don't remember any of the names of anybody in this film, which there are a lot of them. But just no matter what, like, even when the characters are angry, they're still like, I can't believe you did that, man. How dare you? And like, literally, he'll like jump on top of this guy and start punching him, and he's still monotone. He's like, why'd you do what you did? Why? And everybody is just not emotionless, but so like chill, as if they're like high all the time, which they probably are. But or that's what they're going for with the lifestyle. But there's this one cop that ends up being, I'm guessing, a stepfather of one of the kids, and is trying to get them off the streets. But all these kids kind of pretty much come from the same background, and they depend on each other, and they squat in a bunch of abandoned homes, but they're always being kicked out of them and stuff like that. And they basically just live for the punk rock lifestyle and going to shows pretty much, and doing drugs essentially. And even like the very opening of the film, before this whole concert with the naked girl happens, there's even like a child death. Like, I'd say in the first minute and a half, if that, of the film, there's a child death. I'm not going to say exactly what happens, but with everything that I've talked about and mentioned already, expect some brutality on that as well. So I can see why this film was controversial, but it did get a release from Shout Factory, which is pretty interesting, and it's definitely a film that I would pick up and rewatch again, especially to give it like a more in-depth review, or like process it a lot more. it's a very, very well done film, and I definitely loved this one a lot. It's also streaming on Tubi, so if you want to check it out yourselves, definitely do so if you can handle the subject matter. It's definitely very well done, in my opinion. So I loved the film, and it's a recommendation from me. So definitely will be watching it again too. So subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you'd like to listen to my voice or if you like my film reviews. I'll be back with more soon, so stay tuned for those. Check out what's on the channel already. Stay tuned for what's coming. Until next review, have a good one. Take care and cheers.